Hey everyone, before you say something like, why would I buy the Merkava MK.2B from the marketplace if I can get it for free just by playing Israel? And to answer that question, I am making this video for people who don't want to play Israel for one reason or another. Maybe they are a free-to-play player just like me and don't want to spend weeks or even months playing to get the Merkavas on the Israeli Ground 3, and they just want to know if it is worth spending the money on it to get access to a Merkava instantly. Or maybe they mainly play USA and don't want to invest more time in another country or something of that sort. Or you could watch this video and see if the Merkava would be a tank that's worth working towards for in the Israeli Ground 3 as well. Whatever the reason may be, I will go in depth about this tank's weapons, speed, turret and hull rotation, survivability, shells, and hopefully this video will help you decide whether or not this tank is something you want to spend money on or spending time grinding in the Israeli Ground 3 itself. If I told you that I don't like playing top tier in War Thunder, I doubt any of you would be that surprised, because as we all know, the routine of top tier in War Thunder consists of you spawning, getting a kill or capturing one base, then a helicopter snipes you from their spawn point without any effort and just one-shots you without even leaving their spawn point. Or another thing that happens often is players revenge killing you with their planes, which gets annoying and old very quick. But anyway, as most of you probably know, the marketplace is a place where players put on auction blueprints for tanks, skins, decorations and other such things. And they are bought using Gaijin coins or whatever you wanna call them. That's the name they use on their website for short, it's on the screen right now. And one Gaijin coin is equal to 1 euro. So back on topic of the Merkava, I bought this tank back when it was only about 34 or 37 Gaijin coins, so it only cost me about 34 euro or so, which was surprisingly cheap for this tank, which I found myself enjoy quite a bit. Which was definitely a surprise, as I already said I don't like top tier in War Thunder. But if you would like to get this tank today, it costs roughly about 107 Gaijin coins, which is 107 euro, and in my opinion it's just not worth it. For that amount of money, you could buy 2 packs each for 64 euro from the store, including a rank 7 premium tank, premium account time for 15 days, and 2000 golden eagles. So, the short answer to the question if the Merkava MK.2B is worth it is a surprising no from me, but that's only because of the high price at the moment, which could go down anytime. But if for some reason you really wanted to buy this tank, no matter the price, or you already had a blueprint in your inventory and you were wondering if you should activate it or sell it, then let's get into the specs for this alien looking tank. Let's start off with the weaponry on this tank. The Merkava MK.2B is using a 105mm Sharir cannon, firing heat FS rounds while stock, but it also has hash, smoke shells, and 2 types of APF SDS, which the first one penetrates less than the second one. Pretty standard stuff, I'd say, for a tank of this BR. So in terms of the gun, there's not much that can withstand a shot from either of these two APF SDS rounds. I spent about 5 hours playing games and this bad boy just goes through anything it looks at like hot knife through butter. For the exception of the front armor on the T-72s, and if you get an up tier, maybe the Leopard 2A4 could pose a little challenge. The turret rotation speed on the Merkava is only 29.7 degrees per second, which takes only 12 seconds to do a full 360 degrees rotation. The gun depression is not bad at all either. It goes as low as minus 8 degrees, which lets you get in some cheeky spots to do some sniping shots on the enemy team, and up to plus 20 degrees. And speaking of rotation speeds, the whole rotation speed takes only 12 seconds to do a full 360 degrees rotation, just like the turret. The reload speed is nothing to write home about, as it takes 8.2 seconds to reload, and most tanks at this BR either have 8.2 or 8.7 seconds of reload time, except for some Russian tanks which are at 7.2 seconds of reload speed, such as the T-72. It also comes equipped with 4 machine guns, which can be extremely useful when you have pesky helicopters flying around and you need to show them who's boss from time to time. You have one 12.7mm machine gun on top of the turret with two 7.62mm machine guns on each side of the turret, as well as another 7.62mm coaxial machine gun. So when you're playing, it's not surprising to see the Merkava on top of the list with more planes or helicopters shot down than any of the anti-air on your team. It also has 30 smoke grenades, and I know those aren't shells or weapons, but I felt it was appropriate to include those in this section of the video. And that's gonna do it for the guns. Let's see how it is in terms of armor, shall we? And to be honest, not that great, but just because this tank doesn't have a lot of armor, that doesn't mean it's easy to kill. Its lack of armor is made up by the fact that its engine is on the front of the tank as well as the transmission, which means you can take shot after shot and still come on top as the victor of a 1v1 or a 2v1 encounter. Its turret is also so weirdly shaped that most people will either miss your turret entirely, ricochet on the side of the turret, or just not penetrate at all because of the weird shape that it has. So it's safe to say that you will rarely be getting one shot with this tank unless they hit you in a very specific spot from the front, which is very hard to do, shown by the evidence currently playing on the screen. If there is one bad thing I could say about the Merkava, that would be the crew positioning. You have 4 crew members in total, with the driver sitting up front in the hull, a commander, a gunner and a reloader, all sitting snug somewhat inside the turret, all lined up next to each other. So there's going to be a very few times where someone gets the jump on you and doesn't outright kill all 3 of your crew, sending you back to the hangar. But I think that would be my only complaint about the Merkava MK.2B. And is it really a complaint? Most if not all tanks in the game have little to no armor on the sides and back. So that last thing I said can be just ignored, since it's like that for most of the tanks to begin with. So the long answer to is the Merkava MK.2B worth it is, if money is no issue for you, or you're watching this video wondering if you should grind all the way to top tier for the free Merkavas found on the Israeli ground 3, or if you happen to have a blueprint of this tank in your inventory and you are wondering if I should activate or sell it, then this is my answer to you. If you can acquire this tank, then absolutely with no hesitation do so. This tank has become one of my favorite tanks in the game with only a few games to speak of. This tank is easy to pick up and play. It comes with little to no disadvantages against the enemies that you will be facing at this battle rating, and sometimes it might even feel like you're tougher to take down than anything on your team or on the opposite team, thanks to the engine and transmission placement and the turret's weird shape. So I guarantee you that if you too play this tank, it will leave you with a smile on your face just like it did on me. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's video, guys. Let me know what you thought of it, and also do let me know what you think of the Merkava if you do have it. And also suggest any other tank you would like to see me review and give my opinion on. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so, as it helps my channel grow and it motivates me to do more videos, and I appreciate the support, of course. And I'll see you in the next video whenever I make one.